Greetings, everyone. Dr. Frank here, the Johnny Appleseed of election integrity. Thank you for joining me today for a brief discussion of where our country is today and where we need to go next. I've just spent the last 4 years traveling our country full-time, spreading the truth about our elections and gathering the critical information that we need in order to restore our republic. I'm not going to try to compress all of that collected wisdom into this one short presentation. Instead, I'm here to invite you to engage the ongoing war for our liberty. In short, right now, we need to expand our state and county infrastructure because that's where the real battlefront is. And today, I'm inviting you to be part of it. The fact that Trump won the 2024 election is a miracle and is certainly cause for celebration. We've won an important battle in the war for our liberty. Almighty God has given us a temporary reprieve, walking us back from the brink of a disastrous precipice. Can you imagine what it would be like if Kamala was president right now? Since Trump was elected, Trump has been wasting no time delivering on his campaign promises, and it has been delightful to watch. Trump is on the offensive, and this time around he knows much better what he's doing, and it sure will be fun continuing to watch him in the coming months, rectifying injustices and draining the swamp. But the time for celebrating and watching is now over. We need to keep moving forward. We need to ratchet in this progress. Even though we have a great new leader in the war, the general does not fight the war. We, the people, are the officers and the soldiers. It's up to us to fight this war. Trump will be providing the air cover, and he needs us to occupy the territory. Trump is not the government. We, the people, are the government, and we need to start acting like it. It's true that Trump can temporarily undo much of the damage done by previous administrations, but future administrations could simply undo any progress that Trump and his administration makes, because it's mostly by executive order. This is no way for us to run a country, back and forth, depending on the ideology of our president. Our republic is in a very bad place. Winning an important battle is one thing, establishing a beachhead is quite another. We the people need to secure the territory we've now just tentatively captured. And if we don't secure this beachhead, it is certain we will lose it. Our enemies have oceans of money. You'll never be able to outspend them. They own the media, the courts, the political parties, the senior state officials and the legislatures, the schools, and even our churches. They will continue to dominate the media, and we will continue to lose in the courts. And even today, our legislatures and state governments are actively purging anyone who challenges the corrupt establishment. Republican or Democrat, it makes little difference. I can assure you, we will continue losing this war if we continue to let our enemies choose their own battlefields. Our enemies have been building an extensive and well-funded infrastructure for decades, and all the while, we frogs have been busy enjoying the hot tub. Consequently, we the people are no longer in control, we have a shallow bench, and we have limited experience. So, can we the people win? Certainly. We the people are the most powerful weapon in this war, and we always have been. Sort of. The problem is, we the people have been conditioned into complacency and been seduced by comfort and convenience. We've forgotten that America is an experiment in self-government, and we've abandoned our civil responsibilities. We've been letting other people run our governments, other people to teach our children, and even worse, we've given up our ability to govern by letting other people run our elections. Right now, we need more we the people to wake up in order to buttress our recent progress and to secure our new potential beachheads. We the people need to understand, reclaim, and resume our sovereign duties. And we only have 1 year. So, what's next? In short, education, activation, organization, empowerment. To that end, I've been working closely with groups all over the country, like Cause of America, Audit the Vote PA, Patriot Force, and G3, for example. I've been establishing and cultivating state infrastructure and local teams. In the coming months, I'll be touring several states, helping to shore up our existing infrastructure and establishing new outposts. My volunteers and I are already busy scheduling. During these tours, I typically speak to larger crowds in the evenings and to community organizations during the day. The balance of my time I spend working with local teams on education and strategy. I also meet with local officials and perform in-depth analysis on their local elections and voter rolls. I've learned that this sort of work is ineffective unless it takes place in person, which is why I spend so much of my time on the road. After more than 650 public presentations in 48 states over the last 4 years, spending 95% of my time on the road working with grassroots teams on election integrity, I have learned what works and what doesn't. I'm sad to report that although there are lots of grassroots folks out there engaged in doing things, most of them are not very effective. I call these activities hamster wheels. Lots of effort, but no real forward movement. Things like calling your legislators, filing lawsuits, cleaning voter rolls, or registering voters and chasing ballots. It's like our army of grassroots soldiers are just firing their weapons up into the air. Lots of noise, but no effect on the outcome of the battle, and it just depletes our energy and resources. These approaches do not address the core problems, and they are barely affecting the symptoms, if at all. I've explained this time and time again, and if you still think that these approaches are the right ones, then I'm sorry to say it, but you are confused. There is no silver bullet. Wars are not won when individuals are acting alone. Winning a war requires infrastructure, strategy, resources, and personnel. You need war councils to provide leadership, to do research, to plan and implement strategy, to build infrastructure, and to organize and deploy critical resources. That's why I've been focusing my efforts working on the longer-term, more permanent solutions. We need to be building war councils at the state and county level, sometimes even at the city and town level. If we get organized and we work together, and with God's providence, we cannot lose. I believe this is the last chance that our generation has to reestablish a beachhead for liberty in this country. I encourage you to join me and others in this critical moment in our nation's history. If you'd like to be part of our movement and to be part of your state's infrastructure, please send me an email. When you write, please ask for copies of my 7 Steps Trifold and the checklist we've developed for arranging a visit to your region. I don't charge a fee, and my volunteers and I will coach you on how to make all the necessary arrangements. I'll see you on the road.
Freedom is a fragile thing, and it's never more than one generation away from extinction. It is not ours by way of inheritance. It must be fought for and defended constantly by each generation, for it comes only once to a people. And those in world history who have known freedom and then lost it have never known it again.